regularly scheduled meeting for November 12th, 2024. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're starting out tonight with a special rundown of our senior trip plans. Mrs. Petro? Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. Sorry. Yeah, we've tried to get a student representative, but one had an appointment and the rest of them just left. So, no, basically what happened is if everyone has a parent square, they realize, they've gotten all my messages of what we offered them, gave them their trip. They had the opportunity to give me ideas. They boiled it down to the Hershey Park in Pennsylvania, and then Point Pleasant in New Jersey, which is by far the best trip, I personally think, because everyone gets a little flavor of everything. And Boston. And I think 2 people voted for Boston. So it was a landslide that they wanted this. So as you can see the itinerary, we went back and forth, and we finally had a meeting with everyone to determine the best date that would interrupt sports and music festivals and everything else. So we ended up with Tuesday, June 10th to, June 10th to June 11th. So it's midweek. Last week of school for the seniors. By then, hopefully we'll get them done. The teachers in the building will be well aware of the trip's already on our block information in the morning. And, again, the kids voted for it. Right now, they have about $13,000 in their account, which is substantial. And that's already taking away from the incidentals that we have, our obligations for the end of the year. Not to mention we still have a Krispy Kreme fundraiser. The only thing that I'm seeing right now is I'm waiting for, I cannot book it until I get deposits, simply because I need to have that count. With 62 tentative graduates, I put on the roster for our travel agent 55. That ends up being literally $10,000 more because we would need a second bus. Now, will we get that? It ends up being over $25,000. But I'm waiting for deposits so that I can book the trip, hopefully one bus. I mean, I'd like everyone to go, but realistically they don't. So we're looking at a $250 price point for them to begin with, $100 deposit. If there's less than 45, they won't, I'll give it back. They won't have to pay for a thing, which is nice. So I'm hoping they're supposed to have their, what's today, the 12th? 12th, so it's 22nd next Friday. They're supposed to have that in next Friday, but I'm going to bribe them with their t-shirts because we got their t-shirts in, so hopefully they'll bring in their deposits. I can't book it unless I have a number. So that's really what I'm waiting for at this point. So you'll probably get inundated within the next week of, Parent Square, just to let the parents know, please, send in the money. If someone has difficulty, one student that's having difficulty, then we'll, subsidize. We would like everyone to go. I would like everyone to go. Reality is they don't. Last year, how many students did we? I know how many we had on the trip, but how many graduates did we have last year?
56.
56 and 31 attended, and 31 attended the year before. So, I'm hoping for more than that because then the price goes up a little bit more. But they still would stay within there. That easily will earn that extra couple of $1,000 with the Krispy Kreme. This class literally sold 750 boxes of donuts, double what last year did. It was amazing. It was $8,000 to buy the dough. It was amazing. So they earned quite a bit with that, and they came into the year with a bunch. So, they get a little bit of everything. They have the amusement park, they have a water park. For those who don't like the water park, the amusement park, they have the beach the next day with the whole gamut of little rides and food and whatnot on the boardwalk. So it's a nice little, I think it's the best deal for the kids because they each get a little bit of something. They see the ocean, they get to play, but some kids don't like the amusement even last year, that was a big contentious point for some, that they didn't want to go to an amusement park. And then some kids wanted to go to Ohio 3 days, you know, and nobody wants to spend 10 hours on a bus. Last year, the bathroom, or the year before, the bathroom broke. So, you know, we're trying to make it as comfortable, not to mention they have obligations here. And that's really it. Is there any questions?
I'm not familiar. What adults accompany them?
Oh, I'm sorry. So depending on the number of students, if we do have 55, then I would have 5 chaperones from the school. We don't invite parents per se, simply because we get the people from school. I kind of have, right now, it's myself, Sarah Mayville, she went last year, another science teacher, Corey Youngs. And if it's less than, like, say, 45, then we have 4 escorts, you know, and it goes very well. You know, the boys on one floor, girls on another, you know, for anything that's in between, we deal with whatever comes up as we get it, as it comes along. But they're well supervised, you know, everybody has their phones, everybody has our numbers, you know, if they're running around the park, because they don't follow us around in the park, but there's nowhere to go, so we're not going anywhere. We check their bags the day before. They have to bring them in, we check their bags. I mean, there's always so much checking that I'm allowed to do, and I basically don't. I have them sift through. I don't want to touch their personals. It's their personal thing. So, but I've had 3 years and 3 really fantastic trips, and I've gone to Hershey Park 3 times. And it's been up to that. It's been a fantastic trip. They love it. You know, it's just a little bit. I mean, last year the highlight was the pool at the hotel. So that was their fun, but they really liked it. You know, they enjoy it. So anything else? It's a good trip.
More questions? Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See you in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
I look good. Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Hoban.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Have a
Would
good
you like
night.
to give us
Thank you.
your update?
Sure, we can. So, here to report that sadly our fall sports have ended. Boys varsity soccer was able to finish the season, and I'm so proud of what they accomplished, because I literally thought maybe in a week or 2, as soon as the season started, I was going to be calling coach and saying, we just can't field the team. And what these young men did, and the way the coaches brought them together, I mean, they played all the way through. They even played in a play-in game in section because they wanted to do it. And you know, the simple steps of scoring a goal or just being together was enough for them, and that's going to help the program kind of stay together. So again, just a phenomenal job for just getting that season completed. The girls varsity soccer, they finished 11-5-1. They competed in the sectionals as well, and they fell short to Tully in the first round. There were some good highlights throughout the year. They won the Poland tournament. Madison Gonzalez was named MVP. So some of the accolades have not gotten to my desk yet, as far as the All-Stars, All-League. So once I have that, I'm sure that'll be in my next report once I get all that information. Girls modified soccer had another great season. They finished 10-1-1. I'm excited to see how those young ladies move up to the varsity. Swim team finished the regular season 3-8. Annalise Grabowski continued with her diving achievements. She broke the pool record multiple times in diving this year. She ended up finishing second in sectionals and in the diving portion. And her and Stella Brown also competed in some swimming events at sectionals. Cheerleading team, they competed at sectionals at Indian River on November 2nd. They placed 4th in the class, and it was pretty close for them to actually get into because they usually advertise the top 3 placements, and they were pretty close in getting into that 3rd spot. Cross-country team finished sectionals this past Saturday. They finished the girls finished the season with a 10-4. At the league championship, the team placed 2nd in Division 3. Isabel Lyon currently has the 6th fastest time for a WCB girl at home. The boys, composed of 4 freshmen, posted a 6-10 record and an excellent showing given their youth. Football team, we finished 2nd in the league. Overall, we were 8-2, and We ended our season in the sectional semifinals this past Friday. Winter sports season begins November 18th for everyone except for modified basketball, which will not begin until January 6th. I've been meeting with all the fall coaches. I have one more fall coach to meet to get an exit interview, just to get an idea of what their needs are coming up and to see how the season went for them. Tomorrow I meet with winter coaches to set the expectation for the upcoming season for them as well. The winter schedules, I say they're almost, I think there's one game left that I gotta get finalized, and that's Dodgeville girls game here. They had a conflict and we are struggling finding it. We'll find a day, but we're struggling with that. Both our boys and girls are gonna play in the Downtown Classic on December 30th. The girls play at 9 o'clock against Lafayette. The boys will play at 12:15 against Delhi. We have the indoor track schedule is up. I was able to get that secured this past week. That is up on Schedule Galaxy. Boys and girls bowling teams is up, but we keep adding to it. We just added one with Canada just this week. Syracuse Fitness has been in to evaluate. I'm scheduled with them. They haven't given me a date when they're coming back to actually do the work for the upgrade and stuff in there and making sure everything's working fine. Community fitness hours is up and running. I said 8 to 10. It's pretty packed in there today. The young people are really enjoying coming back and getting some things done. I think in between the seasons they're looking for something to do. So, yes, sir.
Syracuse Fitness, is that required, and how often?
We typically do it once a year. I know that we put requisitions in for it each year just to budget for it. Then they come in, they evaluate cables, broken things like that, and then if there's anything such as upholstery that we have to do, we will look at that and look at the numbers. We did change a little bit just to keep it within the amount that we've had, but we use that all the time. We use it, all the sport teams use it. We teach 2 classes in there a day for applied fitness. And then obviously the community hours. So the amount of time is in there is about equivalent to what you would see at a gym out in the community. So we do have to keep that up and running, and that's primarily for safety purposes.
The Downtown Classic, is that at the Nexus Center?
Yes, it is.
What's the admission fees?
And I do not know yet.
I hope it's not $15 again.
I don't know.
These are the chances.
It's two.
It's not the referees or anybody
No,
like
it's
that.
not one of those. By the way, I didn't mention it, but the girls are playing in the one in Herkimer, where the officials up do it for the cancer.
Right.
And we're playing Cooperstown in that one.
The only complaint I have is that alcohol was served there
Yeah,
at a high school event.
And we mentioned that in.
I made contact with the person that has put this on and had a pretty good conversation with him.
Okay.
He's assured me that they're adding security. They know what I shared with him what was going on. So they're on the lookout for that.
These are opportunities for the kids to be able to play in nice venues, and also it keeps games relatively closer, so we are traveling long distances to make up that 20-game schedule. We can't control the cost, we can control those concerns, but, you know, we feel like, you know, having a game right down the road, which is 25, 30 minutes away, is a lot better than getting on a bus for 2.5 hours to go compete. So, you know, we'll reevaluate it at the end. Every year we're reevaluating, but we'll constantly reevaluate. If it becomes a situation where we don't feel comfortable, then we won't send them.
I'm just going on the basis of last year.
Yep, and that's what.
People were drinking.
Yep, and we've addressed that with.
It's a
the
high
people.
school event.
Yep.
If they're selling it, I don't think we should go.
Huh?
Because if they're selling it, we don't go. Is it something that they have it there selling it?
The problem is the facility has it there.
Right,
Because
so
it's
they
at the
could
college
close that
campus.
shop up,
But
close
they're
it.
gonna limit the
Or they'll
coming
take-
out.
So they could make it so you can't bring it into the.
I personally don't think it would happen if it's the same people that were running it last year are doing it this year. They're not school people. They're not high school people, I'm sorry.
Was there an incident last year?
Uh,
Or was it just the fact that?
It was the fact, and that way
Yeah.
he addressed it with the people that.
I mean, I go to the state tournament, you don't, those concessions are all closed, So that, I can't see why they have to serve alcohol when it's a high school event. I'm sorry, that's me.
I agree.
Well, we voiced our concerns, right?
And at the end of the day, if they can't get it straight this year, then we are done. We've addressed it, we've moved forward, but if they can't, if there's still issues after this year, we'll look to move venues.
Good.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Holden.
Hi. We've had a busy month as I started looking down. Our fifth grade honors program took a trip to the Welland Museum, which is an art museum on the Hamilton College campus. Our second graders went to the Farmers Museum in Cooperstown. We had a wonderful trunk or treat event. We couldn't ask for a better evening and a great turnout. The afternoon of the early release, my teachers took part in an RTI Edge training, which is what we use for our Tier 2 and Tier 3 students. Teachers will log them into RTI Edge. They make goals and things for the students so we can keep track of their progress. Following that training, teachers were provided assessment data folders to go through and look at the assessments. I'll be meeting with each grade level to discuss the assessment results, questions, and start looking at making some instructional shifts. We had a Halloween parade on Halloween, which was really successful. We had it out on a new track. And it was nice because our spectators got to sit in the bleachers, so it was really nice. And we had music this year, which really had a nice theme to it. On the early release on November 1st, our teachers took place in a STAR software training. They have changed the interface of STAR to make it a little more user-friendly for teachers, so they were able to have that. On the 4th, fifth grade took a trip to the Rome Capitol Theater, and they saw a science show called Mr. C Goes Live, and the kids really enjoyed that. On the 4th, we also added the additional day of morning program. So now morning program with guests will take place on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. On Mondays, we'll be announcing our Nighthawks of the week. I'd like to invite anybody that are welcome to come to a morning program. It begins at 9 o'clock. Pre-K took a field trip to the Newport Community Library. On the 7th, we had our annual Veterans Day Assembly, which is really nice. We invite veterans from the community. Each grade level gets up and does a special tribute to all of our veterans. Third grade honors had a program called Soaring Stories. We ended the marking period this past Friday. First period is currently over. Teachers are currently working on report cards as we speak, and our parent-teacher conferences will be on the 25th and 26th. We'll have early release both of those days. We attended a sneak peek of the Addams Family musical, which was wonderful, and the kids really enjoyed that. Friday night, the PTO is hosting a family swim night. We broke it up so families with the last name A through K will swim from 6 to 7, and families with the last name beginning with L through Z will swim from 7:15 to 8:15. All students must be accompanied by an adult, and it's $5 admission per family. And last but not least, our winter concert for grades K and 2 the date has been changed. So the new date is now December 10th at 6 p.m. I did send out a parent square today, and I will be sending hard copies home as well with students for families. I think that's it.
Questions? Thank you. Mr. Belvin.
So we've had a lot going on as well since the last board meeting. We had our homecoming pep rally, K through 12. We had our homecoming dance on October 26th. It was a really good turnout. We really had a lot of fun. I attended, Ms. Nofree, the St. Conference, October 27th, 28th. A lot of legal updates. We talked about cell phones, kind of how that's going with the state, and then other professional development to help us, technologies we can use and stuff like that. It was a real good conference.
What was your feedback on the cell phone thing?
So what I got from people that I work with, colleagues, administrators, the ones who've banned it, that's the greatest thing they've ever done. Kids are talking to each other, less behavioral issues, paying attention in class, walking through the halls with their heads up. Parents are actually calling, the CBA principal, he said he's got calls from parents thanking them, that kids aren't using as much at home because they're not attached to them all day long. So it just, I haven't heard any negative feedback from anybody that has done it. Several districts have gone some version from complete locking it into a box to in pouches to you have to keep it in your locker all day. And all of them said good things about it. So it's definitely, at the conference they talked about the governor likely will be announcing something in January which will require schools some kind of bell-to-bell restriction. So it's going in that direction one way or the other. So I thought that is very useful. I sat into a workshop that the head of the Parent-Teacher Association for New York State spoke about the cell phone policy and how they've been meeting, and the parents throughout the state have been meeting, and St. E's has been meeting, and the teachers union, and everybody's kind of on the same page as far as the negative impacts of cell phones. So that I thought that was really a good part of the conference that I sat in on. November 2nd, we had our all-county music festival here in the gym. It was packed full. We ended up running chairs just to make sure we had enough seating, and we filled it. Kids did a great job. They were here pretty much all day Friday afternoon, and then all day Saturday working and preparing for that. So a lot of great performances. We had our Addams Family musical this past weekend, the 7th and the 9th. Excellent turnout. I think Saturday night was close to selling out. We had over 400 tickets sold for that. We did a special showing on November 8th for our students, a partial showing, approximately about 45 minutes of that show. But the kids did a great job. They really had a lot of fun, and we had a lot of people come both nights and really enjoyed it. So yeah, it was great. Mrs. Sabani and the staff that works on that really spent a lot of hard work, getting that to be what it is. So, just congratulate them on a great show. We had a trip today, field trip for music auditions. It's a master class, so they went down to CVA, 8 kids with Mrs. Bonnie. So to get into like music college, you have to do an audition. So part of this was for those kids that are looking and going in that direction, to kind of help them prepare for what this audition is and what to expect, and how to be ready for that so that you can get into the school that you want to. Great things. I heard good feedback from the kids and Mrs. Bonnie as well. Upcoming events, we got another field trip tomorrow through the honors program, and that's medal stamping. And 3 students are going to that with Mrs. Sayers, our teacher. November 22nd, 23rd, we have our area All-State at Walton High School. We have 8 students representing West Canada at that. They go on Friday, spend the night, and perform that afternoon for a concert, Saturday afternoon down in Walton. December 4th, we have a drama club trip going to New York City to see the Michael Jackson musical. We usually have a full busload for that. And then December 5th, we have another honors program, narrative and short plays. 3 students will attend that. So we keep Mr. Wright pretty busy with the bus schedule, but he's great. And I want to thank him for arranging that so all our kids can get these opportunities. That's all I have.
Questions? Thanks. Mr. Simmons, did you want to, Mr. Ray's update, or everyone just
Mr. Ray gave me his transportation update. DOT will be here on They were here last week. 11A. Fall sports trips are coming to a close. Winter trips will be starting. There's about 1 week of layover before, this is the quiet time before it picks back up. Our 3 buses that are set for delivery on December 12th. I'm still waiting for the final quote on the small bus. The bus budget information will be in next month's packet because we're waiting for that quote. In years past, we've used Chevrolet. There's issues there, getting chassis, so they're looking at quotes from Ford, so he's going back and forth with the dealers. As of now, we are short 1 driver. We also have another driver that is retiring at the end of December. I talked to some other districts and they're having the same problem. We are not even getting any applications, so we'll continue to work hard at that one. Again, if you hear anything, please send them our way. It's across the state right now. No updates on EV, and we're kind of really just holding still until there is an update because honestly, I think you're going to see some changes with that, but only time will tell. We're doing what we need to do with the EV stuff, but we'll wait and see where it goes. They did the final punch list for the stadium and the multi-purpose field yesterday. There's a few things that they're going to button up, and that project is near completion, which went a heck of a lot smoother than the first one. It didn't take 9 months to open the pool. So they did find an engine for the dump truck. So they're looking at, this was late last week. Oh, it's done. Okay. So we were able to get a new engine in the dump truck that has very low miles. Everything was good. Because I know last month he was concerned we weren't finding it. So they persevered and they found one and they got it completed. Nice. Nope. But it also saved us a substantial amount of money to replace an engine on a vehicle that has less than 10,000 miles with having to buy a new dump truck. Thank you.
Thanks. Motion to accept the consent agenda as presented. Sarah first, Ed second, all in favor? Motion to enter executive session for the appointment of personnel matters, including review and appointment of employees and contract negotiations. Ed first, Janine second, all in favor? Is everyone good with having welcome back. We're starting out with action items, and first up is a motion to approve the overnight senior trip. Ed first, Janine second, all in favor? And personnel report. Motion to accept the resignation of Daryl Wonderly, bus driver for purpose of retirement, effective November 13th, 2024, with the last day of work being January 2nd, 2025. Janine first, Shauna second, all in favor? A motion to accept the resignation of Mike Brewer, building mechanic, effective November 6th, 2024, with the last date of work being November 22nd, 2024. Shauna first. Sarah second, all in favor? Yes. Elisa is abstaining. A motion to rescind the provisional appointment of Christian Groom, full-time, 12-month provisional custodian, effective November 8th, 2024. Janine first, Ed second, all in favor? A motion to appoint Regina Sedgy, full-time, 10-month, 1-to-1 teacher aide, as per the negotiated salary of the CSEA bargaining agreement, effective November 13th, 2024. Janine first, Elisa second, all in favor? Motion to appoint Abby Dimitri, full-time, 10-month, 1-to-1 teacher aide, as per the negotiated salary of the CSEA bargaining agreement, effective November 13th, 2024. Ed first, Sarah second, all in favor? Motion to appoint Richard Snyder, full-time bus driver, as per the negotiated salary of the CSEA bargaining agreement, effective November 13th, 2024. Janine first, Shauna second, all in favor? Motion to appoint Summer Ryder, non-certified substitute teaching assistant, aide, monitor, pre-K through 12, for the district approved rate sheet, and substitute cleaner per the negotiated hourly rate of the CSEA bargaining agreement, both effective November 13th, 2024. Ed first, Elisa second, all in favor? Motion to appoint Ann Botter, non-certified substitute teaching assistant, aide, monitor, pre-K through 6, for the district approved rate sheet, effective November 13th, 2024. Janine first, Elisa second, all in favor? Motion to appoint Sarah Gross, substitute office clerk, as per the negotiated hourly rate of the CSEA bargaining agreement, effective November 13th, 2024. Ed first, Shauna second, all in favor? Motion to appoint Richard Snyder, non-certified substitute teaching assistant, aide, monitor, pre-K through 12, effective November 13th, 2024. Sarah first, Janine second, all in favor? Motion to appoint Brooke Cardinal, non-certified substitute teacher, teaching assistant, aide, monitor, pre-K through 12, effective November 13th, 2024. Ed first, Sarah second, all in favor? Motion to appoint Todd Hoban, volunteer assistant, indoor track, effective November 13th, 2024, for the 24-25 school year. Shauna first, Elisa second, all in favor? Motion to appoint Matthew Everson, volunteer assistant, varsity boys basketball, effective November 13th, 2024, for the 24-25 school year. Janine first, Sarah second, all in favor? Motion to appoint Andrew Gorncheck, volunteer assistant, varsity boys basketball, effective November 13th, 2024, for the 24-25 school year, pending certification. Janine first, Sarah second, all in favor? Motion to appoint Ann Murphy, mentor for ELA 7 through 12, as per the WCBTA bargaining agreement, effective November 13th, 2024, for the 24-25 school year. Janine first, Sarah second, all in favor? A motion to approve the tax collector report. Ed first, Sean second, all in favor.
thought you were reading the
I don't.
No, we don't have to.
And first discussion item is the capital project update.
Okay, thank you. On November 11th, there was a walkthrough to determine the final punch list. The project went well, and we were very pleased with the outcome. And this is for the multi-purpose field, bleachers, resurfacing of the track, regrading of the hill on the visitor side. The punch list is very small, and it's all things that will get completed, so we can sign off and complete that project. But overall, I think the district's quite pleased with the outcome and all positive communication with the community that I've received on the project, so.
The engineers commented that it was the smoothest project we've ever worked on.
I didn't hear you, Kelly.
So one of the engineers yesterday commented that it was the smoothest project that he's ever worked on.
Looks real good, too.
Wow.
Has that final grading been done back here, Jeremy?
The grading on the far side, yes, and there's already grass growing, so that hydro seed has come in quite nicely. Over by the playground, we might have some spots that we have to address in the spring, just because as they were trying to get that done, the temperature kind of, but for how wet the spring was, and what we were able to accomplish between Memorial Day and that first week in October, I was quite impressed. So, the budget calendar and assumptions, as required, the calendar and assumptions are included in your packet. If there are no questions or concerns, we can approve them in December to begin the budget season. It will be here before you know it, but we wanted to put those in your packet. Really the same time frame, same system that we've used in the past when doing budget season. I am going to be, I get to see the whole duration of the budget season and not coming in January and trying to catch up.
Sorry, just any questions on the budget calendar?
With the bus replacement, I mean, we still haven't got our buses from last year.
They're coming.
I mean-
They're coming. December 12th.
We'll have a brand new fleet next year.
We got last year's buses in July of this year. The ones we're waiting on are the ones that were approved this past.
I mean, they've been in Wyoming and Oklahoma and Minnesota. Ridiculous.
It'll be nice when they're on our,
Property.
yes, the fleet's here. One thing I did put in your packet this month was to update that home and hospital tutoring policy. The policy was dated in 2008. Things have changed. The wording of the policy that I put in your packet is, I know it's very wordy, but it's from the recommendations of the school attorney to make sure that we're allowing and making sure that people that put in for the tutoring are aware of what the district's obligations are. So,
Is there an update?
We don't have an updated one.
what's no, that is this one.
The one for
That,
three.
this page right here was the original policy.
Oh, okay.
When you
Gotcha.
flip the page, the three
Oh.
pages are the updated policy
Okay.
from.
Oh,
the-
okay.
Because it doesn't have the header.
I gotcha, I know.
Yes.
Okay, I see.
So,
That's with the unknown.
yep, and I've looked it over, I mean, it's just, you know, things have changed too over since 2008. One of the things now is if you're in grades 7 through 12, you need 15 hours of tutoring a week if you're out, where elementary still only needs 10. These are time obligations, things have changed over the last 10 plus years. You know, and there is a 30-day, you know, so that would be something, if everybody's good with, we wouldn't make that adoption until the December meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
A couple other things that I didn't put down that I do want to address. Cell phone, where we are with the cell phone policy, we are working on our code of conduct right now, which all ties in. I do want to send out a survey moving forward, probably in the next week, about, to the community about cell phones. And just kind of ask questions such as, you know, I wanna know where people stand with this. Cause I'm hearing mixed things throughout, I've heard more positive than negative, but it's coming. And I think that we need to be proactive, whether the governor puts this in, in play, or as a district, we wanna make sure that our students are coming here to learn instead of catching up on social media.
How did the other schools do it?
They started with surveys.
They did.
And then they went from there and got community input, and then made decisions based on the community input. So I think getting community input will be our first step, and that will come out relatively quickly.
So are the questions like, do you wanna do it? And then our question's gonna be like, would you ask, should they keep them in their bags or in their lockers? So it'd be.
Yep, and I think once the survey, this week, we can work on doing that. I will send you guys a copy of the survey just for input, and then next week, we can look at trying to get that out,
Yeah, because we talked about January,
Yep, but I
when they
think.
come back from vacation.
But I also wanna make sure we're strategic, and I wanna make sure we're doing it the correct way. So I think getting stakeholder input is the first way, first step in moving forward with this.
What do you do if they say no?
Then I think we have to kind of start fresh and see where that lies with, percentages of the community, and then go from there.
You think it'll come down to a state mandate overall?
Eventually, yes, I think the governor's pushing hard for the end of January to put something in place. So it's either we get out in front of it and kind of have some say in it, or if they do it their route, we might not have any say. So I think it's important that we at least explore this option and see where we stand.
We can do like locally implement what we think.
As long as it's within the guidelines, but we don't have any guidelines. So I think right now it's just getting community input to see where we stand. You have Dolgeville, you have CBA, you have Herkimer. A lot of these districts around in Herkimer County are going this route.
Is there a way you could put a little blurb saying, I wanted to use Janine's word. Just saying, this is probably gonna happen,
I would
we would-
just say there's a lot of talk at the state level right now.
something,
so-
and could you mention maybe like, you don't have to cite any sort of research, but what effect is the phone having on kids?
I think
throughout
the
day,
attention is, their attention's not.
Cause
at
maybe
the
people
class.
don't realize that, so.
I can't believe it, it's gotten as far as it's gone.
Well, I do, because I think when you have the Wild West and cell phones for the longest time, you remember, we started with phones off and in your locker. I know at every school I worked at, it was phones off and in your locker. And then you started to give a little bit because you wanted to teach kids the educational purpose of a cell phone. And then it just spiraled out of control where there is like no rules and kids are more worried about this than what the teacher's saying, or emergency in the school, and they're glued to their phones. So I think that it's important that we go back to why are we in school? To get an education and move from there.
I think we should encourage the public's participation in our meetings with their opinions as well. I'd like to see somebody face to face, what's your problem with the way we're gonna do this?
And we can go and have those conversations, but we'll start with the survey first and then.
Right, that
generate.
gets the community, at least they can
Yep.
respond. Okay.
And just one other thing I'd like to put out there is the official sites that we post information at West Canada is our school website, our Parent Square, and the West Canada Valley official Facebook page. There are other sites out there, and their information is not official from our school. And if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out and call the main office, and we'll kind of give you the information. But I just can't make it clear enough that we don't have anything on TikTok, we don't have anything on Instagram. It is officially the school website, the official school Facebook page, and Parent Square. Those are the only 3 areas you'll get official information from West Canada.
Thank you. Announcements, November 22nd to the 23rd will be area All-State at Walton High School. November 25th through 26th is elementary early dismissal for parent-teacher conferences. Thanksgiving recess, November 27th through 29th. Our next meeting at 6 o'clock will be December 9th. The K through 12 winter concert at 6 o'clock, December 10th. December 11th is the middle and high school winter concert at 7 p.m. with the junior and senior chorus and band. December 18th is the elementary winter concert at 7 p.m. with elementary chorus and band. And December 19th is a possible snow date.
Are we all set up with, same as last year for snow days, the phone automated and on WKTV, none of that's changed?
None of that has changed. We'll do the same setup that we've done in the past, or last year.
Because we know one's coming.
Don't jinx it, come on.
And public comment.
Snow. That was just snow. No snow today.
Nothing. No public comments, motion to adjourn. Janine first, Elisa second, all in favor?
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.